Hello, everybody. Johnny Ringer back again. Give you guys some updates. Okay, so we're back to San Clemente surfing in the 60s. I didn't quite finish up my stories of Boche Beach and Shore Cliffs where I grew up. Okay, so one thing, Chris Carmichael, he had this Greek eliminator with the step-down deck. Yeah, it was a nice big round nose, man. He'd walk up and he'd hang five and he could pop his fin out if he wanted, slip and slide around on that big old round nose, like a big tongue depressor looking thing. But he ripped. It was yellow tint, with the black pinstripe and a white top. I'll never forget it. And so I was stuck on the Joe Quigg model. Now we had gone to Doheny and watched Corky Carroll before, and that was the big highlight of my grum at times. And boy, he was, to me, I mean, that was it. He had the biggest surf knots I'd ever seen. They were as big as apples. He had two big ones on either knee, and all his toes and the top of his feet had little surf knots. It was sick, man. A podiatrist probably would have freaked out, but we all thought it was cool, man. Look at the surf knots on that guy. It was all about knee paddling back then. Not too many people belly paddled. So, anyways, my mom wouldn't give us a ride to the Doheny contest. This was in like 1967, 68, something like that. She wouldn't give us a ride down there, so I organized this flotilla. We were going to start from Poche Beach. And we would have to paddle all the way across Capistrano Beach there, all the way to Doheny. There were numerous reefs. You had our two big reefs outside of Poche. You had Renard's Reef and Yater's Reef. And yet, that was right outside the Hoffman's house. Joyce Hoffman, world champion. They lived right on the beach. Her brother Tony, and her adorable sister Debbie Hoffman, and Walt Hoffman. Most of you have heard of Walt Hoffman or Flippy Hoffman, these names. So we started paddling. We got across our reefs. It was like me. It was like Ed Crummer, Bobby TJ, as many kids, Max McDonald, as many kids as I could get that would fall for this thing, I guess. So we started paddling. We got down to, where they call it Killer Capo, down there before south of Doheny State Beach. And this giant set came in, and it wiped us all out. We all lost our boards. We were swimming, man. Crying that we were going to die and everything. And one kid, the reef didn't break all the way to the beach, so it would sizzle out and deposit your board, 100 yards or so you'd have to swim to go get it. So we rounded up our boards and we continued on. And we watched Corky Carroll, win the contest down there, We were a fun bunch down at Poche's back in those days. I remember this one day, we're all sitting on the beach, and here comes some guy paddling out in front of the Hoffman's house. Well, we didn't know who it was. It wasn't Tony. It wasn't Joyce Hoffman. It wasn't Sherry Crummer or one of the other local surfers around there. So we seen this guy paddling out. Well, we all picked up, Poche Beach has the railroad track that runs right across it at the beach. That's the metro line. And so we started throwing rocks at this guy. We didn't know who it was. And later on we found, that's Rolf Arnez. That's the son of the movie star, James Arnez. Don't mess with that guy, man. He's like number 17 in the world. Like 17 in the world? Are you kidding me? The guy paddles out and just shreds, and we're just sitting there with our mouths hanging open watching this guy just shredding, man. So that about wraps it up for my, I can't remember everything all at once, mind you, but that about wraps it up for surfing in the 60s back. They had the Lidkeys and the Metzger's family in San Clemente, and they had the Vetters, Coach Vetter and all his beautiful daughters. They're all blondies, and these are some of the families that were so great to us back then. My mom ended up surviving from her near-fatal crash. She was in intensive care for 2 weeks, praying to God, oh, God, I have 6 kids. You can't take me now. They have no father. And so she miraculously made it out of intensive care, came home, and she knew, she could see how much we were into surfing. It was basically our whole lives keeping the family together. I surfed, both of my brothers. I have an older brother that's 2 years older, Jim Ringer, and my younger brother, he's 1 year older than me, Joey. So she could see how much surfing meant to us, so she started stylizing our life. Well, we're going to move to Dana Point. You'll be close to Doheny. There'll be none of this malarkey about me having to pick you up or whatever. You guys will live right there. You could walk to Doheny. We were like, yay, move to Dana Point, closer to Doheny. It's a way better spot than Pochi. So this is kind of like what I remember, anyways, is holding our family together. You know, the family that surfs together stays together. That's for sure. My mom got quite into it. Anyways, I'll explain further on my next video about the Dana Point days. Goodbye for now. Remember to like and subscribe, please. No sweat off your back.